What's up, guys? Back with another YouTube video. It's been a hot minute since I made one. We're at the halfway point of the Ben Johnson Arrow Year One, and I'm gonna give my thoughts and everything and how I'm feeling after trade deadline. As that just happened too this past week, and yeah, let's get into it. So, to begin with, it's been a very interesting year as a Bears fan. I'll say. Uh, Lots been going on. A lot of injuries, a lot of heart attacks and what's happening as a fan and as a watcher, and I've seen it on social media from other Bears fans talking about it. So I understand, and it's just one of those things where like they're giving us heart attacks, but then they're coming through. And it's something that I like because last year we weren't really getting that as fans, and it's something that you just gotta keep believing in and trust the process. And to be honest, I haven't been trusting the process at all. I've seen a lot of stuff that I wanted to complain about and haven't got on here and complain about just because, I'm gonna let the season play out. It's his first year, got to give people a chance, always got to give people a chance, unless just offer it, they're just like messing up. And, at first, those first two games of the season, I was like, oh, this is not it. This is not going to end well. We're about to be back where we were last year with 5 wins and go on a 11 game losing streak, some crap like that, and they turn it around right now with second place in NFC North. You know, can be in first place to get the win this week, and the Packers lose, as we always, as Bears fans, want to happen. And yeah, so looking forward to this week playing the Giants. They're gonna be in Chicago. Weather's not gonna be look so good, but it's fine. But my thoughts on Ben Johnson as a coach, he's built culture, and that's something that we didn't see last year. We thought we saw something with the whole Hard Knocks thing. I thought that was a lot. I was excited for that at first, and then we got into the season. I was like, Hard Knocks was a waste of time. Hard Knocks was just to hype up the fans, to get the fans to watch, come up, buy tickets and stuff. Waste of time. Was not executing, was not doing a lot of stuff that they should have been doing, and that's just something that we didn't see last year. Now we see execution. Now we see finishing the games. You see the players get in front of the media. They're saying the right things. Caleb's talking about the game's not over until the clock says zero, and he's completely right. Because last year there was games that went down to the wire, and they had the chance to win the games. They just were not executing. Now on the other hand, the one thing I would say that I'm not liking right now is the kicking situation. Um, Cairo Santos, excuse me, Cairo Santos needs to lock in or go ride the bench. I don't know what they saw when they gave him that contract because, to be honest, he can't hit anything past 40, and 40 is a stretch. I'm being generous by saying he can hit 40, but 40 is a stretch. And, I like the dude, he's hit some clutch kicks in Chicago, but there's going to be times when you're going to need to hit at least 50. You got to hit at least 50 to be in the NFL, to be honest. I know the dude at Jacksonville has hit a 68-yard field goal, but he's just built different. And you clearly saw that in preseason. He came out and showed it last Sunday. But as an NFL kicker, you got to at least hit 50. And I don't think he has the capability or the leg to do that. And they got a backup kicker, and they should really start looking into him. Now, I don't know if they're going to play the season out and just, figure it out in off season, which we don't want in the 2018 situation to happen in the playoffs and go home because it's the kicker. So it's something that they need to figure out. Now, if they're going to wait until they get to the end of the season, make the playoffs, and then make the switch and just play this out or play it out for another week or two. And then, because we do got some time, we're only at the halfway point. Haven't even played the Packers yet. That's coming up in a few weeks. So, we just got to play it out. Now, if he changes and starts knocking these long field goals down, I'll shut my mouth. But until then, um, he needs to lock in or go sit on a bench. Now, last week, 2 weeks ago, I was going to get on here and talk about Ayo Adengbo. I'm sorry that he's hurt, but we paid him $30 million. I know he's hurt right now, and I'm not going to trash him as much because he's hurt right now. But I am going to say this. We paid him $30 million. He has not done jack squat. Not jack squat when he was healthy. Now, I don't know if he was hurt previously, and that's why he hasn't done anything. He's just been playing through injuries because you clearly see that DeAndre Swift was hurt, and he played that one game, and then he sat out last week. But there's got to be some level of effort there. As you clearly saw, DeAndre Swift was giving us more effort than I thought he would have gave us. As a groin injury is not something you really want to live with or deal with as an NFL player, especially as a running back. Now, to my credit, he was doing some stuff in those games that they did lose, but I just thought there was going to be more. I thought he was going to make more of an impact. I don't know if it's because they have him playing edge, and he's really a linebacker technically, but he might be more of a coverage linebacker. But the problem with that is that you got another linebacker you're paying what 40 50 million. I don't know what they're paying Tremaine Edmonds because they signed him to some contract, and you got a couple other linebackers you're paying, so I don't know, but they need to figure something out with him when he does come back next year and figure that out. But I hope he gets healthy, and I hope he's fine, and that he comes back and he's a beast next year. Now, to my credit for Ben Johnson, he has developed Caleb Williams better than we thought he was going to, better than a lot of people thought he was going to, and I'll give him that credit. Now, to be honest, they did talk to him about, because I honestly was kind of mad Caleb Williams was running a lot when he should be running instead of trying to make passes or throw the ball away. Because there's a lot of situations, if you look at the film, which we can't see the film and they won't show it back the way we would want to see it as advocates like myself and other people that want to see it of the field, there's probably a lot of times where he threw balls away where he could have just ran the ball, gained some yards, and then got it to shorten yardage on second and third downs, stuff like that. Even like on fourth downs too, because they like to go for it on fourth downs. So that's something I was seeing that I didn't like, but they seem to got that figured out, and hopefully he keeps doing it. And then just the other thing I would say is he's still not hitting people in stride. I don't know if anybody else peeped this, but there's no in stride balls besides maybe the Colson Loveland catch at the end of the game. But like, everything's like on a turn back, comeback routes or 5 yards, turn around, catch the ball type thing. Nothing's like going upfield, going across the middle of the field. They were doing that the first two games, and it wasn't. I don't know if they think it wasn't working or it's just something that he doesn't think he can do. But I know he can do it. He has arm to do it. He has the receivers to do it. They just need to execute it. So I don't know what they're not seeing. I like the trick plays. I think they should keep doing trick plays, have different trick plays coming up in the following weeks, stuff like that. But um, I just think that he needs to get his players. He got two good tight ends, 3, 4 good wide receivers. Even though we haven't seen Luther Burton out there a lot lately, and I don't know if it's just Luther Burton's not ready to play and he's not executing the plays as he is a rookie. Something's going on, because then you look at it and they're not using DJ Moore on throwing passes. They're using him as a running back, screen, stuff like that. So then it's like, okay, well, you're only throwing to Roma Dunze and then a lot Zacchaeus. So we have DJ Moore as we brought him in, signed him to a big contract. So are we just not going to use him as a receiver? And this was when we had healthy running backs. So I don't know what the plan is there. I'd like to know more into that. Probably can't know more into that because, I don't have that kind of access to get to the coaches and get the interviews from them. That would be nice if I could. Hopefully one day I can. Right now, do not. But yeah, those are some of the big things I'm seeing. Defensive side, I can't even blame the defense. They're playing one hell of a game, keeping the Bears in the game. Secondary is really banged up, so I can't even like sit here and trash secondary. They're just really banged up. The secondary and a little bit of the offensive line there is we just lost Odengbo, and then just lost somebody else got hurt too. I forgot who that was, but yeah. So as they make good trades though, they replace those players, and that's just something you want to see at the trading deadline, especially as a team that's in the race and they're not just going out and making random trades and trading weird players. Is they did say before, that those big injuries happened that they weren't going to make any trades, but kind of had to. and didn't give up anything really 6th and 7th round picks worth nothing. Um, I mean, you get Brock Purdy, but like that's like every like 15 years. So I don't really see anything. I mean, we got a bro out of Rutgers 7th round, but like you just got to have a good scouting team, good GM knows what he's doing, sees the talent. So, and there's not a lot of good GMs out there, so you clearly see the Jets. But I'm not gonna get on the Jets because I remember when my team was the Jets. So, yeah, but those are the big things I'm seeing. I'm happy Ben Johnson's here. Happy he picked the Bears. If I had to grade the Bears right now on a grade level, I'll give them a B minus. Um, I just want to see more. That's the stuff I said. Thrown in stride. Um, using DJ more for catches. Red zone efficiency. That's another thing I want to see. Red zone efficiency. Yeah, and then just the kicker. Really, those are my big three things: is catches in stride, DJ Moore, red zone efficiency, and the kicker. Those are my big things right now. And if they can fix that by week 17, I think that you're gonna see a team that will be challenging for a Super Bowl this year. And if not this year, next year they'll make the playoffs. They can make the playoffs if they can. They gotta. I say if they beat Green Bay twice, they will make the playoffs. Because to be honest, we're gonna split with the Vikings in Detroit anyway, and that's not gonna impact anything because we get to see the Vikings in 3 weeks from this Sunday, and we see Detroit, I think, 6 weeks or something, and the Packers like 5 weeks from this Sunday. So, but I think if we can beat the Packers twice and then win the other two divisional games against the Vikings in Detroit, we will get in because the Packers will drop to third. Then we just got to battle it out with Detroit, really, because we're tied with Detroit right now. Detroit can be beat, as you clearly seen. They don't look so hot, but I think it's just like stopping the run game, making Goff make the big time plays, and just like having a good defensive game on the Bears side. Yeah, so those are the big things I'm seeing, hoping to see down the road, and we'll be back. I want to say next week, maybe in the end of the season video. We'll see how this video does, and yeah, go like, subscribe, comment on any videos you want to see me make. It doesn't have to be sports. It can be talking about anything as long as it's not nothing weird. I love all my subscribers. Love anybody that watch my videos. And as we say in Chicago, good, better, best. Never let it rest. Thank you. Go like, subscribe, comment.